Today, we're going to talk about how to build a social media following using a very specific strategy from this book called Show Your Work. So whenever I'm sort of bored or not knowing my strategy with social media and how I want to approach that, there is an author who I always sort of go to, and it's Austin Kleon. He's the writer of Steal Like an Artist, Show Your Work, and Keep Going. That's another book that I have. I have that in my house, actually. It's on my table all the time, like a reminder. Patient, don't get dragged down by all these things. Keep going, right? So anyways, in this book, Show Your Work, right? As I was reading this right now, I came across this chapter called Share Something Little Every Day. The idea of the chapter is send out a daily dispatch, meaning put something out every single day. The author is saying is like put work out there, put stuff out there, then you'll know what you want to say, right? Do the thing, then you'll know, instead of the opposite, which is I'll know and then I'll do the thing, right? So that's the whole idea. So as I was reading this, I was like, the question came into my mind, great man, you're telling me to put something out every day. What is the process? How do I go about it? And he says that too. This is the first idea which he sort of shares, which is very nice. Overnight success is a myth. Dig into almost every overnight success stories and you'll find about a decade worth of hard work and perseverance. Building a substantial body of work takes a long time, a lifetime really. But thankfully, you don't need to take all that time into one big chunk. Do all that time into one big chunk. So forget about decades, forget about years, and forget about months, and focus on days. Here's what he says. He's like, the day is the unit of time that he sort of handles. He focuses on the day rather than the weeks and the months and the years, right? So that is nice. The sun goes up and sun goes down. I can handle that. So what is the exact process of putting out a daily dispatch? How do you build your following? Here's the thing, like context, right? How I built my following. In 100 days of sketching, through 100 days of sketching, I put out a piece of work every single day, and that made me ask questions. Questions in terms of like, how do I find what do I want to draw? Then when you force yourself to create something every single day, you ask yourself questions, or you force yourself to ask certain questions. Well, I have to draw something. What should I draw? Maybe I should draw something like. Okay, great. What do I like? I like to draw something or make something that doesn't exist, that I want to exist. I want that thing to exist, but it doesn't exist. How about I create that? So that is the answer right there. I'll draw something that I like. Shut up, phone. I'm doing a podcast here, man. I'll draw something that I like, that does not exist, that I want to exist. Boom, simple. So my idea has a specific framework that I can work with, and you're good. The act of doing that every single day helped me to sort of gain following, put the thing, all that stuff, right? And a lot of that seems very similar to this little book right here. So here's the process, right? Which is very good. I found it very resonating. Step 1, once a day, after you've done your day's work, go back to your documentation and find one little piece of your process that you can share. Now, the question is, what should I share? What you share will depend on where you are in your process. If you are in the very early stages of your project, share your influences and what's inspiring you. Simple. If you're in the middle of executing your project, write about your methods and share your work in progress. Simple. If you've just completed the project, show the final product. Share the scraps from the cutting room floor and write about what you've learned. So if you're done with the project, talk about what you learned. If you have lots of projects out in the world, you've already completed a lot of projects, you can report on how they are doing. You can tell stories about how people are interacting with your work. Man, it's a genius. It's a brilliant framework for people, for creators such as yourself and I, to come up with ideas to share on our blog, on our social media, on our platform. My phone. That. We can know what to share, what to create, instead of creating something or doing something so that we can share on social media. And that's the problem right here. That's the problem that we're all facing, right? We don't want that. We want to know what kind of things we need to share. This is fantastic actually. Wow. It's a great framework. Like how did I not see this? This is amazing. It clicked for me this morning. When I was writing a couple of blog posts and it clicked for me. And it's nice. It's good. It's cool. A daily dispatch is even better than a resume or a portfolio because it shows what we're working on right now. So yeah, that is so cool. That is so nice. And another thing, another framework to add, right, is this. The daily dispatch is like getting all the DVD extras before the movie comes. You get to watch some deleted scenes and listen to the director's commentary while the movie is being made. That is nice. The form of what you share doesn't matter. Your daily dispatch can be anything you want. It can be a blog post, an email, a tweet, a YouTube video, or some other little bit of media. There is no one-size-fits-all plan for everybody. So social media sites are perfect place to share daily updates. Don't worry about being on every platform. Pick and choose based on what you do and the people you're trying to reach. Filmmakers hang out on YouTube or Vimeo. Business people, for some strange reason, love LinkedIn. Writers love Twitter. Visual artists tend to like Tumblr, Instagram, or Facebook. The landscape is constantly changing and new platforms are constantly popping up and disappearing. So just choose one. Don't have to be don't afraid to be an early adopter. Jump on a new platform and see if there's something interesting you can do with it. If you can find a good use for a platform, feel free to abandon it. Use your creativity. Film critic Tommy Edison, who's been blind since birth, takes photos of his day-to-day life and posts them on Instagram under @blindfilmcritic. He's followed by more than 30,000 people. That is nice. A lot of social media is just about typing into boxes. I'm just reading out things right now because it's very nice. A lot of social media is just about typing into boxes. What you type into a box often depends on the prompt. Facebook asks you to indulge yourself with questions like, how are you feeling? What's on your mind? Twitter is hardly better. What's happening? I like the tagline of Dribbble.com. What are you working on? Stick to that question and you'll be good. So yeah, what are you working on? Don't show your lunch or your latte. Show your work. Ooh, that's nice. That's a great freaking article right there, Austin Kleon. How are you so awesome, man? Maybe I need to talk to you sometimes. I really love to talk to you. I've been following your work for a long time. So cool, folks. That is the framework that I shall use. So summarize. How do you build an online following? Show your work. Okay. How do you show your work? Put out a daily dispatch. How do you put out a daily dispatch? Use this particular framework. If you're at the start of a project, simple. Show what is inspiring you and show your influences and how you think you're going to go about doing that project. If you're in the middle of a project, show you behind the scenes, show your work in progress. Those are like vlogs, things, this, that, processes, stuff, right? Stuff like that. If you finish your project, what do? You show your final product and also share what you've learned and, like some scraps from the cutting room floor is what they say. What does that mean? Scraps from the cutting room floor is like if they make a movie, they cut out a lot of scenes. Maybe you can include all those scenes and show those scenes in the movie. That'll be nice. So stuff like that. So like adapt it to your work, adapt it to your thing. If you're an illustrator, writer, musician, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Put it and see what works for you. Cool. Bye-bye.